Welcome back, trainers, and in this video we're going to be going over an interview Niantic did with GoHub regarding the remote raid passes and talking about what's going on here. Kind of not a direct response to the public, but kind of answers that they would have probably given us otherwise. They're just going through the GoHub. So we're going to go over that to see what he had to say. And yeah, it's officially begun. Thanos has snapped his fingers, folks. It has started. The remote raid passes are basically doubled, and you can only do 5 a day. So here are the changes in the prices. If you did not know, a single pass is going to be 100. Now it's going to be 195. The bundle was going to be 300 Pokecoins, and now it's going to be 525. All right. They are going to be increasing the XL candies as well. Let's see what they have to say here. All right, so they're interviewing somebody named Ed Wu, who is going to be the Pokemongo VP, Vice President, and veteran developer. So you should know pretty much everything we need to hear right now. And I'm going to have to tell you, folks, I'll let you be the judge, okay? We got a few things to see here. All right, so the quotes are Wu talking himself. Okay, so he begins, after thinking very carefully about this, what we're going to do is relatively simple, generally speaking. The goal is to keep remote raid passes as part of Pokemon Go, but to do so in a sustainable way. The change is necessary for the long-term health and overall game. And our principle of getting folks outside and exploring the world together. See, there you go. Okay, so, they could say everything that they want, and also, who knows, the questions could be curated as well, but let's just see what he has to say. But so far, I mean, that's a statement that we were kind of generally thinking, some of us, that they just want the game to get back to some sort of normalcy here. But, kind of a big damper here, folks. Okay, let's continue on. Now, I want you to pay attention because there's going to be a few inconsistencies here saying that the remote raid pass people are taking up the majority of the space, and then we're a very small majority. All right, then Wu continues on. The world has largely moved back to outdoors, and remote raid passes have come to dominate the overall experience of playing in the way we never intended. Okay? It's become essentially a shortcut to playing the game. A shortcut, that's what he said. We've seen an imbalance because of the current price of the remote raid passes is matched to the premium battle pass, which is distorting the game economy and making the game unstable in the long term. Unsustainable, sorry. So it's unsustainable in the long term. All right, here, let's level with him for a minute, shall we? Okay, let's just, level here. So in my head, I'm thinking, okay, how can I agree? So getting the candies too fast, so we're just going through the game too fast, essentially. We're getting these candies way too fast, but since they did increase the XL candies in the raids in person, they are giving you an additional, I do believe, 3 or 4 XL candies, so that means you have to complete a total of about, something between 25 and 35 raids to get all the candies, granted you catch all the legendaries. Something somewhere around those numbers, right? So, I don't get it. I get it, but so essentially they just don't want us to power up our stuff fast. That's where we're going with this, because it's not about the money at this point. But then again, he could just be saying this, and it all could be true, which I do believe it is. But then there's also the data collection thing, which they go on to say at some point that they do not do that. But I'm not going over all the stuff here because there's just way too much to take a look at. And then they go on to say that the remote raid prices are priced at the same as the in-person raid prices, so there's really no incentive to go out in person and do them, right? And then furthermore, they go on to say that essentially what we were talking about in the beginning, they do not want us to get those XL candies too fast and end the grind that quickly. It's supposed to be a hard and long grind, essentially, to get these legendary candies. And they do not like that fact. It seems like they're really drilling that fact that they do not like us getting too many XL candies. Essentially, stop giving us your money. Okay, just do it in person instead, and get the data going. Right? I don't want to put words in their mouth here, but we could only assume, since we've caught them in a few lies several times before here. So So far, the conclusion seems to be, without being super sinister or anything like that, that they simply just want us to get back out there, and taking a hit from not getting as much income from the remote raid passes doesn't seem to be bothering them, because they're looking at the end game goal for this and essentially wanting you to get back out there in person and play the game the way they intended you to play, and not what they're going to say is sitting on the couch. They don't say sitting on your ass, but they say sitting on your couch playing the game. So here we are. They took it away, 5 a day. So at this point, I mean, it seems like they're just trying to make sure that the longevity of this game continues on. Continuing on here, Wu goes on to say, "We know this is a big change, and some folks will have a strong reaction to that." Wu acknowledged, "We are very empathetic to that reaction, but," that's a big old but, "we really think this is the right thing to do overall, long-term health of the game, and our desire to make sure that it's great for many, many years to come." And so there you go again. All right. So they're trying to extend the longevity of this. And if you're thinking, well, how are they going to extend the longevity of this? I just want a remote raid and I'll keep on spending money. They want you to get out in person. I mean, do the raids there. I mean, I do not have all the answers. Okay. I'm just the messenger here. But he's apparently very empathetic to the reaction. It's hints that they literally said nothing to the outcry. Now, you have to also think about this. This is the sad reality for the people, doing here in Niantic, including myself. Okay, I did it too. I was trying to help. And that is that we are just a drop in the bucket compared to all the players in the world. Okay, that's the reality. Twitter is not the world. Twitter is not real life. We just said that, Dave Chappelle. Right. Moving on. Okay. Twitter's not real life. All right, now this is the person interviewing Wu. As a heavy engaged daily player, it's pretty unusual for me to use 5 remote raid passes in a day. I mean, it could be for some people. So, I mean, it's not like he's trying to shill for them. He's just kind of generally speaking for himself here. And it remains to be seen how often Niantic will lift this cap. I mean, they did say they're going to allow us to go hard. We don't know what that is, like they just stated here. I was keen to find out how many people Niantic expected to be impacted by the introduction of the cap, and how the company Merrick showed the extension of which remote raids was dominating the game currently. So essentially, Niantic can see all the data, okay? They can see everything that's going on in the back scene here. They know how much they're going to be losing. They know how much we're rating it. They know that we're going hard, getting hundreds, and rating till we get 100 or shiny, and then getting enough for the XL candies too, damn it. That's another freaking hardcore aspect of it. And just continuing on after that. Some people max out multiple legendaries, a whole team. That's freaking crazy. I wonder where they get this money and time. It's so bananas. I mean, they should be happy though, right? That's revenue in their pocket, but I guess they don't want that. All right, moving on here. Okay, here's where we get to see our but kind of our biggest contradiction. All right, so this is Wu. There's a wide variety of folks who play Pokemon Go, Wu said. Generally speaking, the number of people who will be affected by the cap on a day-to-day basis is relatively small part of the total set of folks who play our game. So there you go. They don't care. There you go. They're like, so what? Deal with it. You're a drop in the bucket. Move it along. Okay, so here, put this on a shirt. Okay, put this thing on a damn shirt right here. So he goes on to kind of just walk it off on how people are just casuals. And then he goes on to say something like this. The median player of Pokemon Go is probably someone like a Singapore grandma. What the hell are you, ageist? Who walks with her senior group of 30 to 60 minutes every morning as a part of her exercise and social routine. Wow. Who mostly focus on catching Pokemon with their friends and maybe very occasionally, raids, if not at all. You serious? Damn. Like a Singapore grandma. Wow, that's rude. All right, some more fun contradictions kind of here. It's important to ground the fact that the vast majority of folks in our game find a lot of value in Pokemon Go from many other parts of the game beyond raiding. Okay. All right, so you already heard how we're such a small group of people, right? All right, here's the fun part. but the game balance and economics of Pokemon Go are now being dominated by the remote raids in a way we never intended. Okay. Didn't you say it was very small? We're just small, but now it's being dominated. What? Pick a one, man. Okay. And for a segment of the player population, this is fundamentally unsustainable. It's unsustainable. You hear him? All right, so he goes on to say that we're a small part of the population, but we're a big population. We're ruining the economics of the game. We're a very dedicated group who's been here from the beginning, which is fact. Yes, we have. We spent a lot of money and we put a lot of our time and effort into the game, he goes on to say here. So it's clear that this is why they did not give a direct response to the public. They probably were like, well, deal with it. That's just Twitter. They can cry all they want and we're not going to give a damn. We're still going to make the money that we need and put it back to the fundamentals that we want. Moving on, let's see what they have to say. All right, so they go on to tell us, well, wanted to go back to 2017. Well, it's never going to be like that, but they want us to gather our friends, colleagues, family members, and then go to a raid like it used to be. Come on, we all know how it was. And then they want us to walk 10, 15, 20 minutes to the next gym together. Which, I guess, I mean, I know people will have something to say, but yeah. Let's move on here. Of course, you could drive instead, but regardless of how you get out there, the journey was important. Okay, Niantic seems keen for the raids to return to the state they were before, okay, folks? So, I mean, doesn't look like it's changing. The only thing that we can hope for at this point is how much we can when they lift it for events, the remote raids. So they go on about, or Wu goes on about other things about it being kind of a shortcut and a cheat, and not, he doesn't say cheat, but just not the intended goal. All right, so I'm going to be skipping through quite a few other things that they go over. One being the interviewer asks him if, what about shadow raids? And then he goes on to say, I'm not going to say yes, I'm not going to say no, it's in the data mine, okay? But he goes on to say that they don't want to just throw the shadow Pokemon into raids and say, shadow Pokemon in raids, go get them. And I agree. You should make something special out of it, something interesting for once. Maybe make them at nighttime. Oh, but you can't approach places at night. Some places it's trespassing. I get that aspect, but I'm sure they can do something. All right, so what's going on here? Financially, how is this going to affect Niantic regarding the remote raid passes? Okay, let's see what they have to say. Wu has to say. The goal here is not short-term revenue. And then he goes on to say, of course, imposing this cap goes to show this is not about extracting more money. Even though we are raising prices, this is well-balanced, okay? Where we really believe this is not going to create a short-term revenue impact for us. They know, they don't care. You see, it's not about the money right now. They want it to go back to normalcy. At the end of the day, we are a business that wants to provide the experience for our trainers for many years to come. There is a long-run sustainability impact to the changes. Okay, and there's a reason behind them. So there you have it. There's a reason behind them. It's a long-term goal, sustainability, which I could see, okay, sort of. They don't want us to get the candies and power things up real fast. They want us to they want it to be a slow burn, essentially. So there you have it, the response from Niantic. I'm not going to put in my 2 cents here. I'm just going to let you comment down below and tell me what you think about all of this. Thank you for watching and give this video a like. Take care.
Sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody is gonna hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done.
Hey! So you're finally here! Fantastic!
I touch the gas. This is the best day